happy Monday, Sales Director Corrin Cresci. So last week, I said we would talk for the next 2 weeks, last week and this week, about the two business killers that we have as entrepreneurs, things that will just absolutely kill our business, and none of us want that, right? Especially if you're calling in to the Quantum Leap hotline. You are definitely somebody who is not interested in something that kills your business. You're interested in something that grows and develops and helps you have a strong and healthy and profitable and sustainable business for years to come. So if you remember last week, we talked about procrastination. Procrastination is one of the two absolute business killers for an entrepreneur. This week, part 2, is perfectionism. So procrastination and perfectionism. And so what is perfectionism? First of all, so perfectionism is a desire for excellence. Now, what's wrong with that? We all desire to do things with excellence, or to be known to do things with excellence, or to get the job done, to be somebody that always performs at a high level, or always is known for somebody who can complete something from start to finish, and it looks good, and it ends well, and everybody's happy. What's wrong with that? Well, perfectionism really is oftentimes sets a very high standard that you cannot live up to, and nobody else can either. And so what happens is that we are setting unrealistic expectations, and what the results are of that is anxiety. Now, nobody wants anxiety, because anxiety does not move us forward. We don't work with flow and with ease and with grace. Anxiety keeps us kind of bound up, keeps us from moving forward, and it actually is linked to procrastination, which we discussed last week. So, do we want to have a level of excellence in our business? Yes. However, if you find yourself stressing about it to the degree that it's causing anxiety and causing you to not move forward very well, then you might be suffering a bit from perfectionism in business, and we don't want that. So perfectionism can also lead to fear of failure, and only focusing on the outcome, like the result, the goal, and not focusing on the process. So what do we do? So we as entrepreneurs are goal setters, yes. So you do want to set a goal always that stretches you a little bit. It pulls you outside of your comfort zone. You can plan that things are going to go well. But the biggest piece of this would be then to immerse yourself in the process and not be so focused on the outcome, but be focused on learning and developing and trying and allowing yourself to make mistakes. Oftentimes, perfectionists are very, very self-critical. They're critical of others also, because sometimes a perfectionist wants to set unrealistic outcomes and unrealistic expectations for other people, and other people just can't live up to it. But often, and we're critical of them then, but then oftentimes we're the most critical of ourselves. So being okay with making mistakes, laughing at yourself, learning to laugh at yourself, shake your head at yourself and just be like, girl, you know what you're doing. Let's not do that one again. Just a more of a relaxed presence with yourself. Focus on the progress and don't focus on the perfection would be my biggest takeaway. And also give yourself some compassion. If you're a perfectionist, don't reaffirm that. We talked about that last week. Don't say oh, I'm a procrastinator. Don't affirm something you don't want. Call yourself a, recovering perfectionist, or I have perfectionism tendencies and I'm trying to get away from that. So, offer yourself some compassion, some grace, offer it to others as well. And then the other thing for perfectionism, I think, is sometimes perfectionists can spend too much time on one task trying to get it right. So if you find yourself just in like over-analyzation about, a skincare party you're going to do, and you're not even taking the step to book them yet because you don't even know what to do when you get there, and your mind is just over-analyzing. Set a timer. Just be like, okay, I'm gonna give this 15 minutes of thought, and then I'm gonna get into action, so that you don't find yourself in that over-analysis paralysis on your way to perfectionism. We know perfectionism doesn't exist, right? Perfect is relative. So I hope these two things have helped, because as we talked about last week, awareness, you can fix a lot of your problems with just the awareness of it. Like, oh, yes, am I delving into procrastination and perfectionism right now? Okay, let me step away from that. I already know about that. Let me just get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, right into action. Okay, let me set a timer for how long I'm going to overthink this situation. And then I got to send some text messages. I've got to get into action. So I pray that you, as an entrepreneur, can take some of these little tips and ideas that you learn by calling into the Quantum Leap hotline, and that you can see real progress for yourself, that you don't just call in as a checklist, but that you call in, you have takeaways, you are able to move quickly into action, because we've got April right around the corner. April's peeking its little head out at us right now. And whatever did or didn't happen in March, like miracles can still happen today. There's a lot of things that you can make happen on the last day. But if things did not go your way in the month of March, take whatever ideas or tips that you learned and move forward into April, because you can make April an amazing, audacious month. God bless.